Stanbic Investment Management Services. Stanbic Bank, it can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of welcoming you to this meeting, which I now declare open. Directors who have joined the meeting are duly acknowledged. The statutory registers are available for inspection at the company's registered office in compliance with the Companies Act. Will the Secretary please confirm the quorum and proxies received?
Madam Chair, we confirm the quorum. The quorum is confirmed.
Thank you. I now call upon the Secretary, Mrs. A.C. Amoa, to read the notice of the meeting.
Notice of virtual annual general meeting of Platinum Debt Income Fund, PLC. Notice is hereby given that the first annual general meeting of Platinum Debt Income Fund, PLC will be held virtually on June 19, 2026 at 2 p.m. and shall be streamed live from Stanbic Business Incubator, Silver Star Tower, Airport City, Accra, for the transaction of the following business. Ordinary business: to receive and adopt the financial statements of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2025, together with the reports of the directors and external auditors thereon. 2. To approve directors' remuneration. 3. To confirm the auditors' remuneration for the year ended December 31st, 2025, and authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the external auditors for the year ending December 31, 2026. Special business: to approve the amendments to the company's constitution as set out in Appendix A, dated this May 25th, 2026, by order of the board. Attendance and participation. Attendance and participation by all shareholders and/or their proxies in the AGM of the fund shall be strictly virtual, that is, online participation. Accessing and voting at the virtual AGM. A unique token number will be sent to shareholders by email and/or SMS from Monday, June 1st, 2026, to give them access to the meeting. Shareholders who do not receive this token can contact the fund manager at Sims Customer Service at stanbic.com.gh after Monday, June 1st, but before the date of the AGM, to be sent the unique token. Further assistance on accessing the meeting and voting electronically can be found on https://simscisagm.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Amoa. I now have the pleasure in presenting you the chairman's report for the year ended December 31, 2025. The 2025 financial year saw an improved macroeconomic conditions and transition from volatile prior years into recovery and stabilization. Real GDP growth strengthened materially, supported by gold exports, fiscal discipline, and recovering private sector confidence. The Ghana cedi recorded a strong appreciation of 40.7% against major currencies in 2025, helped by improved external balances and reserve buildup. Fixed income markets repriced significantly, with the 91-day Treasury bill yield falling from nearly 27% to 11%, while medium and longer-term yields also compressed due to lower inflation expectations. Credit conditions improved as the banking liquidity strengthened, lending rates declined, and private sector confidence recovered. The fund focused on delivering attractive income through disciplined credit selection, prudent portfolio construction, and active liquidity management. The fund's access assets under management grew strongly, increasing to approximately 213 million Ghana cedis by year end, supported by strong net inflows and continued investor confidence. With exposures across sectors such as financial services, fintech, transportation, and mining services, the fund maintained a balanced strategy focused on capital preservation, liquidity, and yield enhancement. The fund delivered a return of 5.21%, with performance impacted by strong CD and earlier hard currency positioning. Notwithstanding this, the fund successfully distributed income of 4.67 Ghana cedi per share, demonstrating continued resilience and alignment with its capital preservation objective. Ghana's 2026 economic outlook is viewed as positive. Continued disinflation, lower policy rates, and improved liquidity are expected to support growth and normalize financial conditions. The board and management remain committed to disciplined investment standards, focusing on resilient businesses, downside protection, and prudent liquidity buffers. The board expresses appreciation to shareholders, regulators, partners, and the fund managers for their trust, support, and professionalism throughout the year. The board remains confident in the fund's long-term positioning and optimistic about future opportunities. Thank you. Okay, I now call upon Mr. Asari to read the fund manager's report for the year ended December 31, 2025.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The Fund Manager's Report for the year ended December 31, 2025. Dear shareholders and partners, the global economy in 2025 remained resilient, but experienced a modest slowdown, with growth easing slightly and inflation continuing to moderate. Central banks maintained cautious policy stance, balancing gradual easing with lingering inflation risks. Domestically, Ghana's economy transitioned into a phase of recovery and stabilization, supported by improved macroeconomic conditions, declining inflation, and a more stable currency environment. Financial markets rebounded strongly, with a notable decline in interest rates and improved investor sentiment across asset classes. The fund in itself recorded strong growth in scale and positioning. Assets under management increased by 199% to approximately 213 Ghana cedis, supported by capital inflows of about 136 million cedis during the year. The portfolio comprised about 109 million deployed across 4 debt investments, with 48.5 million in Ghana cedi denominated assets and 60 million in USD denominated investments. As at year end, the fund held around 103 million in cash and near cash assets, providing flexibility to deploy into approved opportunities in the following quarter. The fund maintained a strong allocation to floating rate instruments, representing 84% of the portfolio, with a weighted average yield of 15.5% and a weighted average life of 3.28 years. For the year ended 2025, the fund delivered an annual return of 5.21% compared to a benchmark of 8.51%. The underperformance was primarily driven by an underallocation in Ghana cedi denominated assets during a period of significant currency appreciation. This was alongside the timing of capital deployment into pipeline opportunities earlier in the year. The fund began the year with a higher weighting in hard currency and gradually increased exposure towards the latter part of the year to Ghana cedis. Notwithstanding this, the fund remained aligned with its income-focused mandate, successfully distributing 4.67 Ghana cedis per share, representing a distribution yield of 4.35%, supporting the income generation objective of the fund. The fund delivered a strong expansion in terms of operating performance in 2025, reflecting both growth in asset base and increased income generation. Total revenue rose to 15.1 million, driven primarily by interest income of 14.9 million, compared to 1.8 million in 2024. This growth reflects the scaling of the fund's investment portfolio during the year. Operating expenses increased to 2.5 million, largely in line with the expansion in assets under management and operational activities. As a result, operating profits grew substantially to 12.6 million Ghana cedis. Overall profitability was, however, moderated by non-cash exchange losses of 10.2 million on foreign currency investments, reflecting the sharp appreciation of the Ghana cedi during the year. Consequently, net investment income for the year stood at 2.39 million, representing an improvement from 1.33 million recorded in the prior year, and demonstrating the fund's ability to generate income despite currency headwinds. The fund recorded strong growth in net assets, primarily driven by capital inflows. Proceeds from the issuance of shares amounted to 138.5 million, resulting in total net additions to net assets of 140.9 million for the year. This led to a closing net asset value of 212 million Ghana cedis as of 31st December 2025, an increase from 71 million in the prior year. This growth reflects continued investor confidence in the fund's strategy, its position, and the fund's ability to deploy capital in high-quality investment opportunities in the subsequent period. Looking ahead into 2026, the outlook remains constructive, with expectations of continued macroeconomic stability, gradual normalization of financial conditions, and evolving opportunities across fixed income and equity markets. The reopening of the domestic bond market and a shift towards medium and long-term instruments are expected to deepen investment opportunities, while continued disinflation may support further adjustments in yields. The fund's investment approach remains focused on delivering attractive yield pickup relative to the government securities through disciplined credit selection, prudent portfolio construction, and robust structural protections. We continue to maintain a strong pipeline of opportunities across sectors of the real economy, supported by strategic relationships and a focus on bespoke structuring to achieve favorable risk-adjusted returns. In the current environment, we see opportunities to deploy patient capital and negotiate premium spreads through tailored investment structures while maintaining flexibility to respond in shifting market dynamics. The fund also remains committed to income distribution with a focus of enhancing payout frequency over time. We remain mindful of the inherent risks within the opportunities we see, including credit, interest rate, liquidity, and currency risks. To mitigate these, the fund applies rigorous underwriting standards, adaptive portfolio positioning, and disciplined liquidity management. Foreign currency specifically, exposure is actively managed within the defined policy limits to contain volatility whilst preserving capital. The fund remains well positioned to navigate the next phase of the market cycle with a clear focus on capital preservation, sustainable income generation, and long-term value creation for investors. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Asare. I'll now ask the representative of the auditors, John K. and Co., Mr. Gilbert Lomofio, to read their report.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon to members and management of the Platinum Debt Income Fund PLC. I present you the Independent Auditor's Report on the financial statement of the fund at 31st December 2025. And I begin with the opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statement of Platinum Debt Income Fund PLC, which comprise the statement of financial position at 31st December 2025, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the year ended, statement of changes in equity for the year ended, statement of movement in net asset for the year ended, statement of cash flows for the year ended, capital account, and note to the financial statement, which include a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes set out on pages 26 to 36. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of Platinum Debt Income Fund PLC at 31st December 2025, the fund's financial performance and its movement in net assets for the year ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards and with the IS 29 directive issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, and in the manner required by the Companies Act 2019, Act 992 of Ghana, and the Unit Trust and Mutual Funds Regulation 2001, LI 1695. The basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including the International Independent Standards, what we refer to as the Code, issued by the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, and we have fulfilled our ethical responsibilities in accordance with the Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to form a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. In accordance with international standards on auditing, this part of our report is intended to describe the matters communicated with those charged with governance that we have determined in our professional judgment were most significant in the audit of the financial statement. We have determined that there are no matters to report under key audit matters. Other information. The directors are responsible for other information. The other information comprises the information included in the annual report, but does not include the financial statement and our auditor's report thereon. Our opinion on the financial statement does not cover the other information, and we do not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information, and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement. Our knowledge obtained in the audit of the financial statement or otherwise appear to be materially misstated. If based on the work we have performed, we conclude that there is a material misstatement of this other information, we are required to report that fact. We have nothing to report in this regard. Now, Madam Chairperson, if you permit me, I'd like to skip the responsibilities of the Board of Directors for the financial statement and those of the auditors for the audit of the financial statement and read to members the last section of the report, which is the report on other legal and regulatory requirements. And we are looking at the compliance with the requirement of Section 137 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992 of Ghana. We have obtained all information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of account have been kept by the company so far as appears from our examination of those books. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Gilbert Lomofio, whose practice number is ICAG/P/1417, and he signed for and on behalf of John K. and Co., which practice number is ICAG/F/2026/128 and is dated 30th April 2026. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Lomofio. The next item on the agenda is the consideration of the financial statements, directors' and auditors' reports for adoption. I now call on the Secretary, Mrs. Amoa, to take us through the comment and voting process on the motions put forward.
Steps to comment or ask questions. To second the motion, send a comment or question. Kindly locate the chat box at the right or bottom side of your screen. Type and submit your comments and questions. How to cast your vote. We have provided 2 options to enable you to participate in the voting exercise in real time. To vote via the online platform, kindly locate the vote box on the bottom of your broadcast screen and follow these steps. Enter the unique token number used to join the meeting. Click Cast Your Vote. Once you have done this, you will see a list of resolutions to be voted for. Follow the voting process by clicking the plus sign, then select your voting option. To vote via the short code, dial *899*0# on your phone. Enter the unique code used in joining the meeting. Once you have done this, you can now select your vote option and send. We recommend that you use the short code *899*0# when you are unable to access the online platform. Note, you cannot vote once the chairperson closes the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Amoa. I hereby move that the financial statements as at December 31, 2025, together with the director's report and the auditor's report thereon for the year ended December 31, 2025, submitted to the meeting, be and are hereby received and adopted. Would someone please second the motion? To second, kindly go to the chat box, type your full name, and then type seconded.
Madam Chair, Ms. Sedinam Kufe, on behalf of Carl Asset Management Company, seconds the motion.
Thank you. Motion seconded. Are there any questions before the motion is put to the meeting?
Madam Chair, there are no questions in the chat box.
Thank you. I now open the online platform for voting on the motion to adopt the financial statements, directors' and auditors' reports for the year ended December 31, 2025.
Madam Chair, at the end of the voting, 5 entities voted for the motion. No one voted against the motion and no one abstained from the motion.
I declare that the motion has been carried. The next item on the agenda is to approve the remuneration payable to directors. I hereby move that the remuneration payable to all directors, fixed at a total of 370,000 Ghana cedis, be and are hereby approved. Would someone please second the motion?
Madam Chair, Mr. George David Alote seconds the motion.
Yeah, thank you. Motion seconded. Are there any questions for the motion before the motion is put to the meeting?
Madam Chair, there are no questions in the chat box.
I now open the online platform for voting on the motion to approve the remuneration of directors.
Madam Chair, at the end of voting, 6 entities voted for the motion, no one voted against the motion, and no member abstained from the motion.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is to confirm the remuneration of the auditors in respect of the year ended December 31, 2025, and authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors John K. and Co. in respect of the year ending December 31, 2026. I hereby move that the amount of 50,000 Ghana cedis paid to the auditors for the year ended December 31, 2025 be and is hereby confirmed. And hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the remuneration of the auditors for the year ending December 31, 2026. Can someone second the motion?
Madam Chair, Mr. Donaldson Edujemfi seconds the motion on behalf of Fidelity Securities Limited.
Thank you. Motion seconded. Are there any questions before the motion is put to the meeting?
There are no questions in the chat box.
I now open the online platform for voting on the motion.
Madam Chair, at the end of voting, 6 entities voted for the motion. No one voted against the motion, and 0 persons abstained from the motion.
Thank you. I declare that the motion has been carried. The next item on the agenda is to approve the amendment to the Constitution as set out in Appendix A, which is to amend the title of Article 67 and further amend Article 67(2). The appropriate regulatory approvals would be obtained before the amendments are made. I hereby move that the Constitution be amended. Would someone please second the motion? Okay. The next item on the agenda. Pardon? Okay. Would someone please second this motion?
Madam Chair, Mr. George David Alote seconds the motion.
Thank you. Motion seconded. Are there any questions before the motion is put to the meeting?
Madam Chair, there are no questions in the chat box.
I now open the online platform for voting on the special resolution to amend the company's constitution.
Madam Chair, at the end of voting, 6 persons voted for the motion. No one voted against the motion, and no one abstained from the motion.
Okay, I declare the motion has been declared. Are there any further questions to be put to the board?
Madam Chair, there are no questions in the chat box.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank you for your continued interest in your company affairs and for attending this meeting. I hereby declare the meeting formally closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are one of Africa's and Ghana's largest fund managers. Stanbic Investment Management Services provides world-class money management services to individuals, institutional pensions, and group funds. Sign up today for the Stanbic Cash Trust or the Stanbic Income Fund and experience diversified and flexible investment solutions. Managed by your investment specialists. Stanbic Investment Management Services is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and registered with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Stanbic Investment Management Services. Stanbic Bank. It can be.